Hello everyone, and welcome back to our storytelling session. Today, we're going to dive into a tale that highlights why we should never act on a hot temper and how a calm mind can solve even the trickiest problems. As we move through the narrative, pay attention to the vocabulary and phrasing. This is a great way to naturally improve your English skills. Let's get started. In a kingdom located many miles away, there lived a ruler named King Alaric. Having ascended the throne at just 25 years old, he relied heavily on his aging mentor, Silas. Silas had been there since Alaric was a boy, teaching him not just history and strategy, but the vital importance of empathy and foresight. Following the passing of the old king, Silas served as a chief advisor, helping Alaric navigate the heavy burden of leadership. For a long time, the realm was peaceful. However, trouble arose when a severe drought hit the land, a disaster that Silas had failed to predict in his seasonal reports. Overwhelmed by stress and blinded by fury, King Alaric made a rash decision. He banished Silas, the very man who had raised him, commanding him to leave the capital and never set foot in the palace again. With a heavy heart but no words of protest, Silas packed his few belongings and walked away into exile. Silas eventually found a home in a remote, quiet hamlet. He traded his advisor's robe for a farmer's tunic and embraced a modest life. Despite his fall from grace, his intelligence remained sharp. He soon became a favorite among the locals, who would flock to his small cottage seeking advice on everything from crop rotation to settling family arguments. Back at the capital, however, things were falling apart. King Alaric soon realized that ruling without Silas was nearly impossible. Regret began to eat away at him. He recognized his decision had been driven by momentary rage, not logic. Desperate to make amends, he sent guards to scour the countryside for his old mentor, but weeks passed without a single lead. The kingdom was vast, and Silas had vanished without a trace. Then, a clever thought struck the king. He remembered how Silas loved riddles and lateral thinking. Alaric decided to send out a peculiar test to locate him. He distributed clay vessels to every village chief with a specific command. Return this vessel filled with pure wisdom within 30 days. If you cannot, you must fill it with diamonds and gold instead. When the royal messenger arrived at Silas's hamlet, the village chief was terrified. They were poor farmers. They had no gold. And how could anyone physically pack wisdom into a pot? Panicked, the chief ran to Silas. "We are doomed," the chief cried. "How can we satisfy the king's demand?" Silas looked at the vessel and smiled calmly. "Do not worry," he said soothingly. "Leave the pot with me. I promise it will be filled with wisdom by the deadline." The chief was skeptical but trusted Silas. Silas took the clay pot into his garden, where he found a small watermelon vine with tiny, budding fruit. Gently, he slipped a baby watermelon inside the neck of the pot without severing it from the vine. For the next few weeks, he nurtured the plant. The watermelon grew inside the protected environment of the vessel until it expanded to fill the entire space, becoming too large to be pulled back out. When the time came, Silas cut the vine and handed the pot to the messenger. King Alaric received the heavy vessel and peered inside. He saw the massive watermelon trapped perfectly within the clay walls. A broad smile crossed his face. To grow a fruit this large inside a vessel requires patience, foresight, and a brilliant mind, Alaric declared. This is indeed a jar filled with wisdom. Only Silas could have crafted such a response. Realizing his mentor was found, Alaric wasted no time. He rode out personally to the village, not as a king come in command, but as a student coming to apologize. He reunited with Silas and brought him home, having learned a valuable lesson. So, what is the takeaway for us? First, never let anger dictate your actions. Acting in the heat of the moment often leads to decisions we wish we could take back. Second, when you face a difficult situation, take a breath. A calm mind allows you to see solutions that a stressed mind misses. I hope you enjoyed the story of King Alaric and Silas and picked up some new expressions along the way. Practicing English through stories is one of the best ways to learn. If you found this helpful, please like and share, and don't forget to tell us in the comments which part of the story was your favorite. Thanks for watching and keep learning.